but to talk about the global action, where we're going to see a lot of global triggers at play for the Indian equities. We've got Peter McGuire, Chief Executive Officer at XM Australia, joining us on the phone line. Good morning from here. It's about 8 a.m. in India. Thanks, Peter, for joining us. A lot of global cues to talk about, from oil prices and, of course, to the bond yields and the equity markets, which around the world are now falling.
Yes, well, good morning. They certainly were. They had a big fall, and we understand that October is a volatile month, and it's only early in the month. And what we've seen in the last matter of hours, we've had a 7-hour-odd close down as far as Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. We've had that big sell-off, and crude's marched much higher, much higher, and it really is it's a time for traders to certainly grab the wheel and take advantage of these big opportunities that are presenting themselves.
Oh, absolutely. We had the worst outage on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram since 2008. We saw that reflected in Mark Zuckerberg's personal wealth as well, down $7 billion. But you've got the dollar index, which overnight has been flat for us. You've got the US 10-year at 1.48%, which also has been flat. But global crude oil prices, it's hit $82 after the OPEC Plus meet. That's Brent, of course. What is your outlook as far as the flows into the equities go when commodity prices are so volatile and the news that we've been getting out of China?
Well, first off, I think it's taken everyone by surprise as far as that huge build that we've seen as far as price movement to the upside, and of course, nat gas approaching that $6 a British metric thermal unit. So WTI sitting just on 78, as you mentioned, 82 for Brent. There seems to be momentum to push it higher, and the thoughts coming out where OPEC were, and they maintain their supply hike. All of that, it lends to some extent to I think, a push higher as far as price. Are we going to? Some of the big banks are forecasting $100 crude. I'm not sure whether I think that's fairly bullish, but I think the potential for an $85 to $90 handle is certainly there for many traders over the next, say, month to 2 months. The continual push higher. Inflation's certainly a concern, and we've seen big, I think, volatility swings across some of those base metals over the last 3 to 4 months, or certainly 3 months, that have taken everyone by surprise, especially Dr. Copper.